Don't know if it's too windy, but what's going on, guys? TG here, back again with another video. And in this video we've got it's just going to be basically a video of a training session. I'm in my second block now, so I've had my deload, as you saw me discuss in yesterday's video. And in this video I've just got a normal it's a hypertrophy session, but it's, I'm trying to think of the word to say. I say it's a lower body session, it's a full body session. All of my sessions are full body, and I'll explain that in the video tomorrow. But for now, we're just going to take you through a whole session, explain why I'm doing what I'm doing for me individually. The idea of this block, I'll introduce this block real quick. This whole block and this last training block were 2 weeks because I've been doing, so it went strength to power to speed. And as we progress through those weeks previously, or through those blocks previously, the training got more specific towards rugby. And now, as I'm training a lot with rugby, there's no need for that specificity in the gym. Now the gym can be about just moving weight. So the idea is I'm building up my work capacity, trying to grow a little bit, and just spend a couple blocks just training the weights for training the weight benefit. So hopefully you enjoy the session. Give it a thumbs up, give it an early thumbs up, because then you don't have to do it at the end of the video. Do it now. Comment any questions or queries, or any comments you have, comment below, and check out this session.
A little over a year ago, I was in bondage. Now I'm back out here reaping the blessings and getting the benefits that go along with everything that's out here for kings like us. The reason why we like this jewelry and this diamonds and stuff, they don't understand, is because we really from Africa, and that's where all this stuff come from, and we originate from kings, you know what I'm saying? So
right, do we enjoy that effect, even though you had to see my disgusting mouth in order to see it? I hope we did. Anyway, this is the voiceover portion of the video. And at the beginning of every session, I do need to spend a good 10 minutes or so working on my mobility, on my breathing, and just generally getting ready and getting prepared for the session. This is part of what you're seeing here, but in all honesty, before this I did do a good 2 minutes of breathing control, core control, and a little bit of like just line activation drills. Then we do mobile activation drills, so a lot of this is trying to open up the hips, and then when you've got the band here, this is really trying to activate the glutes, or I don't like the word activate, but it's how you can get a feel for them. And then once you've got a good feel for them, once they're nice and warm, then it helps you squeeze that muscle when you do movements such as this, the back squat. So when people say, oh, you've got to turn on or activate or wake up certain muscles, it's just to try and get blood flow through there, so that you can actually then, when you do the movements, feel / contract that muscle better, and then obviously that's going to make for a better movement. So for example, here with the squats, if I didn't do that glute activation work there, it would be harder for me to squeeze my glutes at this bit, and in order for me to stand up, I'd be using a lot more quads, lower back, that sort of thing. So we do these movements in order to really warm up and get the blood flow into that muscle, so that we can contract it later on in a movement like this. And obviously, as you can see, this movement is back squats. We haven't done back squats this year simply because of the fact of the toll of pre-season, and then the actual rugby season has been taken on my body, specifically my lower back and kind of my legs, that I just didn't want to add them in, as getting my squats up wasn't the goal at the minute. It's just like general hypertrophy and trying to look a lot better. But which is why actually you can see with these squats that my form isn't too great. Look at that knee moving in. These knees shouldn't cave in as they do. You should be able to go up the same way you went down. See how my knees push in a little bit? Really got to work on that. Really use the glute muscles to drive those knees out. Knees caving in is often a sign of pretty weak glutes. So I mean, that's one of my targets I'm trying to bring up here, and that's why I'm going to emphasize them in later movements. But yeah, back squats, we're keeping it light. As you can notice, that the weight's a lot lighter than you've seen before, and this is just because we're adding them in, and I don't need to be pushing PRs yet. I'm not expecting to push PRs yet because I haven't done this movement for a month. Plus the fact that I'm aiming for like a minimum of 8 reps with all of these. So if I add too much weight, I get too carried away. The form goes out the window and I don't get a good feel for it. So I like having this right at the beginning because I'm nice and fresh. I can put all my effort into it, and a lot of my effort here goes into really just getting that control in the movement. As you can see, if you go back to some of my old videos, in fact I'll clip an old horrible squat of mine over here, and the reality is that this comes from my mistake that I always seem to make when it comes to training squats is I start light, I feel really good, it starts moving really well, and then I try and rush the movement too much. I try and, rush adding on weight, I try and add too much weight too quickly, and then everything just goes tits up. Anyway, next movement we got here is front racked rear foot elevated split squats, but it's only on a low box. So on a normal rear foot elevated split squat, your back foot would be like on a bench, like your traditional Bulgarian split squats. But this box is lower than the bench because I really don't want to use that foot as much as what I would do on a normal rear foot elevated split squat. I really want the emphasis to be on that front quad. Still get a nice good stretch in that back leg, which is something definitely that I need with my tight hips. But the emphasis certainly is going to be more on that front quad than it is on the glutes or hamstrings or anything else with that movement. And that's what makes this movement so great. I think I just hit my microphone, but we're going to press on with this session anyway. So yeah, what I'm trying to do here really is just get some volume, and a good amount of volume through the legs, through whole body sessions, in order just to try and really stimulate the muscles, resensitize them, so that when I go to lift in heavier weight for strength work, which will be next, then onto power work, then onto speed work and whatnot, that we've got more potential to get stronger, we've got more potential to get more powerful and faster and become a better rugby player, and also just look better. There are definitely physique goals somewhat in this program. I've got calf raises that are almost a staple, as in I'm doing them 3 times a week.
Why didn't Lisa dump me? Is it because of my small calves? They're the hardest place to add mass.
And yeah, I'm feeling good about this program at the minute. This is just the first week, obviously, of this second cycle where I've made adjustments. First cycle, I feel like I got beaten up a little bit too quickly, as in I felt overly fatigued. As you saw from the other video, I planned to have a deload in week 5, and when in reality it needed to come like in week 4.5 or something, because it was so tough. But that reality is, that's the beauty of strength training or programming in general, is that you're just predicting. It's like predicting the weather. You're never sure exactly what's going to happen with weight, or with how the body feels, or how something's going to move, and then you have to make adjustments week to week or cycle to cycle. And that's what's happened here, is that we've decided to lower the amount of sets, therefore lowering the volume obviously, and then therefore over time we are not going to get as beaten up. I'm trying to avoid, as I said before, getting too close to failure on any of these. So the idea is that I've got at least 2 to 3 reps in the tank this first week, then 1 to 2 reps, or at least 2 reps in the second week, and then in the third week we're going to try and just keep 1 rep in the tank, see how we feel, but always staying away from failure, never grinding out reps, because it's no good for the body. You beat yourself up too quickly, especially when you're doing this sort of programming. Going too close to failure too often, especially when you're training 6 times a week, isn't a smart plan, especially when you've got rugby season like I have, lots of contact and stuff. It's all adding up to your fatigue, and over time you get beaten up a bit too much. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said all what I've needed to say in this video. I guess we're now on to the accessory stuff. So all of that stuff you saw is the main emphasis, and now what we've got is accessory stuff, whereby I'm just punching the clock almost. I've got 2 sets of a few things to get through, none of which is going to be too tough, none of which is supposed to be too easy, but it's just lifting and getting weights moving, and saving myself almost for harder sessions to come on these body parts or on these movements. That'll do for this video, boys and girls. I'll leave the voiceover now. Please give this a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it so far. If you like this style of video, I'm happy to do more like this, but I have I am aware that I've been speaking non-stop here for about 9 minutes, so I've had enough. I'll see you boys in the next video.